Our core values and beliefs are essential qualities of our personalities.
Typically, they work behind the scenes, influencing our thoughts, actions, but there will be times that we need to stand up for these beliefs and values. Having the skills to do this in a non-confrontational way can make the difference in having your perspective heard.
Yeah, so joining us now is one of our relationship gurus, Michael Walker, PhD student at the University of Minnesota, to talk about perspective and to talk about those strategies. Michael, good morning. Thanks for being with us today.
Good morning to you too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is a tough one, especially as we're coming into the holidays and making tough decisions now around these times. You say start by just knowing and understanding what you believe.
Yeah, for sure. That's really important. And just kind of to back up, I want to make sure that last time I was on, we were talking about having those political conversations. And in some ways, it may have sounded like I was saying not to stand up for your beliefs. I want to make sure that I came back with some more information about we have to know what we value so that we can stand up for those values and beliefs. And there's ways that you can do that by taking time to write down what your values are and then maybe put them in a list and prioritize them. One thing that we've done with some of our students in the past is that we've created this like NCAA bracket of values where students get to select which value works for them.
That's really cool. That's an interesting idea because I worry sometimes that people aren't preserving their own their own energy by fighting on every one of these values that are important to them. There are, we all have dozens of things that are important to us, but you can't step up and fight on everything, can you?
Correct. I mean, we have to choose our battles, right, to make sure that it's something that's worth our time. One of the hip-hop greats, Jay-Z, uses a term, he says in one of his songs, is that a wise man told him never argue with a fool because people from a distance can't tell who is who. So be mindful of what you're arguing about, who you're arguing with, and make sure that it ranks up there enough for you to engage in that conversation.
And if it does rank up there for you, you say take action and do say something if it's really that important.
For sure. This is not a time to be neutral, right? This is something that you strongly believe in. And so you have to be willing to stand up for your beliefs and your values. And now when we're talking about standing up, it's not about attacking other people's beliefs and values. It's about making sure that you are understanding where you stand and what your values are. At the same time, you can critique other folks' values as well. That's part of the process.
I guess part of the question here is, what is your goal? Right? Like, believe me, looking at my responses on Twitter most of the time, people are not trying to change anyone's mind. They're not trying to engage. They're just trying to express their views. And so it's not really a process. It's more of a declaration. And that's fine too, right? Like, if that's what you want to do, great. But you need to think about what your goal is, right?
For sure. You definitely got to have a goal in mind, and depending on the relationship that you have with this person, is it someone that you communicate with often, or is it just someone out there in Twitter universe or Instagram universe? How much time do you want to put into that? But we have to also be mindful that everyone has experiences, life experiences, and those life experiences shapes our beliefs and our values. And so my values are valid, but so is the other person's values and beliefs are valid as well.
It can be hard to do that, though, if you feel really strongly about something, to sort of respect and understand where that other person is coming from.
It definitely can be hard. And, there will be times that you just disagree with folks on some of your values and some of your stances. That does not mean that you can't still be in a relationship with them, but you just know on these certain things we don't agree on, and that's fine. One thing that I try to live with as a final thought for this segment is that my job is not to try to change people's minds. I'll let the universe deal with that. I'm just going to stand for what I believe in and go from there.
It's important, right? Sometimes you just need to stand up, and there is no other side. There is no changing of someone's minds. It's important.
Yeah. You just got to hold your ground and share what you believe and what you think. And that's that. It's not a win or lose situation. It's more about understanding.
It's good. Michael Walker, thank you so much. Appreciate it.